Hi, we're back with part 2 with my BRS interview. The next question for Ed and Lawrence is, what does it take to secure a brand?
To secure a brand, I think it goes back to, again, it goes back to your vision. It goes back to knowing who you are and where you want to go. I think Ed and I, when we started Blade Runners, a lot of it was influenced by the flipping culture and the flipping community. Really earning respect, not just expecting it or asking for it, but proving yourself by putting yourself out there and challenging yourself and not being afraid to, take on not only, an opponent in flipping, but just take on challenges presented to you in trying to achieve your goals. I think that's a big part of what flipping is, and we didn't want to lose sight of that when we created our brand. I think also our brand just comes a lot from our own individual influences. I know Ed's into a lot of different types of art. He does a lot of it himself and has a history of it. I'm into photography and videography, like you guys see on my YouTube videos, and a lot of that plays a role as well, and we incorporate a lot of ourselves into the brand. I think another part of becoming a brand and keeping up your brand is you can't be afraid of showing people who you are. You really have to be you. You shouldn't try to be another brand or someone else. You need to live up to your own vision and your own goals and your own ideals, and you can't be afraid to show that and show that side of yourself when you're developing your product and when you're developing your brand.
I think that everything that everybody does is a piece of artwork. And I don't treat, some of these products very differently than a piece of artwork. We have, different feelings and art direction and stylizing of Replicant than, say, for something like AB. And, the AB is just like, it's the beast, dude. It's like, I used to run and bomb like everything, man. When I lived in Boston, I used to paint tons and tons of graph and just tag up everything. And I can understand now how foolish that is. I'm not saying go out and destroy property, but it definitely gave me an eye for, like letters and like what they can represent and what Blade Runner systems represents and what like using kind of that. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. Using that type of iconic type of, when you're trying to create a brand image and trying to maintain a brand image, you want to do your own thing, You don't want to run out and make shoes and be like, check me out on Nikes. It's just, you have to, the perfect way to explain it, I guess, is this. The Alpha Beast is a butterfly knife, for sure. We didn't go out and reinvent the butterfly knife, but it's its own butterfly knife. And BRS is its own brand image. It means its own things. And for people who got to enjoy the transparency of knowing this is a company, know that BRS stands for a lot of stuff. Some people know it as intimately as BRS stands for, Ed and Lawrence are two young dads that are trying to take care of their kids and their family, So for us, Blade Runner Systems, that's a family, And I think that stuff comes through. And because it has individual elements associated with each one of us, and I say each one of us, again, down to Matt Cook, down to Precision Plus, who we source a lot of work through, the conjoined effort and the contribution of those things pushes a brand image that, sure, yeah, we spend some time, trying to make sure, hey, that looks good, or that looks cool, or this is something that we like as a piece of art, and we kind of are shopping that out to our, customers, and we see a lot of people coming around to it and thinking that it's looks good or whatever. That's great. What artist doesn't want to hear that, about their stuff? So, I mean, at the end of the day, earning a brand image is a little bit different than going out and being like, again, the whole Nike thing. Everybody that makes knives could make something that looks like a Benchmade, and you'd still sell. You'd probably still sell them. But we wanted to brand something and stick to it and have that vibe and carry it. And it's one like what Lawrence was saying. It comes from honesty. It comes from who we are. I mean, you can see the BRS logo looks a little bit like graffiti. Dude, I've painted graffiti for a long time. I'm not going to shed that, just because I'm almost 40 or whatever. So it's that look or feel or whatever, it's a lot easier to maintain if it's personal. It's a lot easier to have endless amounts of ideas or whatever if they're honest ones. If you're really forwarding your own artwork, if you're really, some of the stuff that's been posted on Instagram is stuff that I sat down and drew, like straight up drew with pens and, markers and pencils and stuff. So it's a lot more honest, and that really makes it easier for us to brand. It gives us a lot more to bring to the table for ideas because they're all straight up just stuff that we're into, And I hope that when somebody's developing their own brand, they're not just like, well, what sounds badass, like what looks cool, but they're really developing something that was their own idea, manifesting their brand as themselves. And that's why, like I said, BRS to us, that's family. So, and there's a lot of people in that family, and we're definitely grateful for every one of them. And they lend to that brand just by being part of it in that way.
All right, we're going to take another break.